Alrighty, so we are now on the part of the collection tour that has brought us upstairs to the bedroom shelves. So I'm going to maintain doing a video per full width, but these ones might be a little shorter just because these are one shelf shorter than the ones downstairs. Downstairs there's 2 extensions and up here there is just one. The coving means that it's just a little bit too snug for another extension. I think if there wasn't coving I could get another one, but I don't want to take the coving out. Ignore that sack. Nothing in there but secondhand manga. And hello, Una. We'll leave her to her noms. Okay, so going up on top we have Orient 1 to 15. I am now fairly sure I'm behind on this. I had been staying up to date with this. I had it pretty much all pre-ordered on Forbidden Planet, and then when I stopped using Forbidden Planet and moved to Sci-Fi, I've just not gone back to catch up on some of the pre-orders I had. So I do think 16 is out. I think potentially even 18 might be out. The same manga artist as Magi, and I think so far I have enjoyed Orient a bit more. It is actually kind of, I feel vaguely similar in terms of fake storyline. A group of 3, 2 guys and a girl adventuring about, and I think even some of the character designs are quite similar, which isn't that surprising. I mean, again, I keep mentioning it, Fairy Tail and Union Zero. Most of the characters are just the same, just with different hair colour. This one is about samurai, and I really do enjoy it, but I have to read 4 or 5 volumes at once, because again, it's another lots of battles, and I lose track between volumes about what's happening. So I haven't read, I think, since volume 10, maybe? But it was a good binge. I'm a bit bummed that we've only got red spines, we haven't got a rainbow, because the covers are really nice. Then we have Ashinoko 1 to 3. It's another up-to-date one, because I think I got 4 for Christmas. I do enjoy it. I do agree there has been a lot of hype, and I do think, because I find it myself with series, that hype can ruin series for you. Now, I think thankfully I had started reading Ashinoko before I saw any form of hype for it. I didn't really know anything about it except people were really happy it got a print. That was the limit of my knowledge. I didn't know anything else. So going into it very blind, I think has meant I have enjoyed it more, whereas I think a lot of people who have seen a lot of the hype have then found that it's not been as enjoyable, if that makes sense. It focuses primarily kind of on this idol and her twin children, who are the 2 on these spines, and these 2 have been reincarnated in the same world, so it's not an isekai, but they have been reincarnated. They have previous life memories and such. I don't want to say much more because there are really big spoiler story stuff that happens. I'm sure, to be fair, most people probably know if they care enough, they've probably read it or watched the anime, but anywho, I'm not going to be the one to spoil it. I have really enjoyed how the stories continued on, especially Volume 3. I thought Volume 3 was excellent. It's very, very dark, I found at times, but I think it really solidified how much I was enjoying the series. Hence why I got a little acrylic stand of Aqua. Then we have Osen Idol 1 to 4, and I am behind on that. I think it was okay. I wasn't swooned by the series. It is about more older idols. I think the men are in their 30s. Oh my gosh. Which I do understand, I believe is old for an idol. But that's kind of the premise. It's on 6 or 7 volumes now. I'm behind. These have primarily been secondhand, apart from one of them. I like the colours, but Tokyo Pop, they're a bit pricey, so because especially I wasn't that fussed waiting for secondhand copies. Taku Elf 1, 2, and 4 all bought on sale or secondhand. Haven't yet read it. I get the feeling it might be a GL, but I haven't read it, so I have no idea. Other Side of Secret 1 to 3. This might be complete at 3 volumes. This is a Ben series because it has very terrifyingly large-chested women. I really don't paint Ben in a good light, do I? I haven't read it. I don't know anything about it. Ben says it's not good. I don't think that's the reason he's reading it. Then we have Other Side Picnic 1, 3, and 5, all bought in sale or secondhand sections for cheap. I haven't read it. See, 50% off. I think Liddy Moon read Volume 1 and said it's horror and she doesn't think I'd enjoy it, and I'm like, oh well, shoot. Shoot, darn it. Anyway, still, I think I'm behind. Obviously I'm behind. I don't have 2 and 4, but I think 6 might even be out. Then we have the where's the title? Otherworld Exploring the Dungeon 1 and 2. I think 3 might be out now. It is an isekai. It reminds me a bit about, like, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I know that's not an isekai, but it's like a similar, you have gods that kind of sponsor humans or people to give them better abilities to go dungeon hunting and collect and such. And he is stuck in this world momentarily and is trying to get by. And there is a really nice, pretty cat who obviously turns into a pretty lady. It was okay. It was fine. I did enjoy it, but I enjoyed it in that I enjoy isekai. I don't think I enjoyed it because it was, like, amazing, if that makes sense. It's okay. We have another isekai, Otherworld Izakaya Nobu 1-7. Oh, I have a clear run. Ooh. This is a very pricey series. Udon Entertainment, has French flaps, it's quite nice quality, is an isekai. I am behind. These are RP at like $12, $13.99. Actually, no, that's not as disgustingly pricey as it used to be, is it? I generally don't see these much cheaper than like £10 online, so I do wait. Most of these I've paid like $7 or less. It is about an izakaya where one door goes into Tokyo and the other goes into this like fantasy Germanic village, medieval village. And it's about them bringing traditional Japanese izakaya food to this village that is pretty much a meat and potato kind of diet place. And it is lovely, it's adorable, it's amazing. This is one of my go-to isekai recommendations. I absolutely recommend it if you manage to find it for a good price. There might have been an anime which might be more accessible, but it's just a whole bunch about them bringing good food and different types of food they're not used to, and different characters each chapter. There hasn't been much of an ongoing story from what I've read so far, but I still really enjoy it. It's lovely. Okay, next we have the Otherworld's books Depend on the Bean Counter 1-3, and that is up to date, and oh my god. You know, because my arm's sore and I want to talk about this a lot, we're going to take this off the shelf to talk about it. Okay, forgive me that we've had to go and sit down, but I'm going to take my time on this one, okay? Right, Otherworld's books Depend on the Bean Counter 1-3, up to date. I cannot describe, I think, how much I enjoyed reading this series. I don't even fully understand why I enjoyed it as much as I did, but have you ever read a series and then you're reading it and you're just so happy that you're reading it that you almost like want to cry or feel goosebumps because you're reading the series and you're so happy reading it and you just like can't stop squealing? And it just, that's how I felt reading this series in like a way I think I can describe with words. Like maybe an interpretive dance might be better, but I don't think you want to see that. Right, so basic premise, actually, like, let me tell you the story. This guy has been isekai'd by mistake. He has been isekai'd with someone else who is going to be the holy maiden, I suppose, in this world. He is walking home. He was an accountant on Earth. He was walking home. He sees a 16-year-old girl being sucked into this like portal on the ground, and he like tries to save her and ends up getting pulled through as well. And like on the other side, like, oh shit, what do we do? So they say to him, well, we've made a mistake. You can't go back, so we'll just fund your life here. You can do what you want. Sorry about that. And he's like, nope, I can't do that. I want to be an accountant. Let me be an accountant for the kingdom. And they're kind of a bit confused and like, okay, yeah, fine, I guess. No idea why you want to do that, but okay. So he then turns up to the accounting department and it's in shambles. It is awful. There is no traceability of half the funds. The kingdom's going to go into debt. It's going to go bust in only a few years. And he's like, nope, we're going to do this properly. We're going to sort it out. Everything's going to be great. He starts putting in proper procedures. He starts doing proper like accountancy, tracking funds and stuff. People start getting mad at him because it's not as easy to get money as it once was. The accountancy department used to just sign off on everything, and he's like, nope, we're gonna go through it and read it through and see if you need it. So we're still on this guy here, and he, to try and keep up with this, ends up discovering there's like a potion he can take, which means that he won't get tired. He's not feeling severely. Don't know if you can hear my cat going crazy with the bell. Probably can. I don't know how much of the cat bells you can hear in the background. I'm so sorry. Anyway, he starts taking this potion and he's able to keep working long hours. He's barely sleeping, he's just working. And then it starts to catch up on him and he gets kind of sick, pretty sick. And he's like on his way home from trying to buy more potions and he kind of is on the verge of collapse and he runs into the captain of the night captain guy. To which they have a wonderful moment in an alley where he wall bangs. Ooh, step point one for the series, there's a wallbang. He's then like, what's happening? What's happening? And it turns out that because he isn't of this world and he isn't the magic holy maiden or whatever, he has no aptitude for magic in this world and he is experiencing magic sickness. Now, normally what happens in this world, apparently, is from birth, when a child's born, being close to like their mother, their father, it helps them adapt to magic and they build a tolerance or something like that, and by the time they get older and they start meandering around the world without a parent, they're fine, they're okay, they can manage it. However, he has not had that because he is not from this world. So what he decides to do is to take on that role himself and allow him to get used to his magic so he can adapt and live okay in this world. But to first cure the magic sickness, he has to help clear it out of him. And there is a way of doing that. A very adult way of doing that. Now, you don't see anything, it fades to black, or there's very carefully paced panels, angled panels where you don't see something, but that's what has to happen. And so we don't really see much, like that's all volume 1, by the way. That's all volume 1, and as I've always said, I feel like volume 1's always fair game, because you need to explain the series. You need to try and explain what the series is about to try and hook other people in. So that's volume 1, and we don't really see much of the pairing until the very end of the volume, so all the stuff I described about the wallbang and the rumpy pumpy is pretty much last chapter or two. It's quite later on. Most of the volume focuses on building up the world, accountancy, finance, the kingdom, stuff like that. However, it does progress, and we do see more of the pair of them together, and oh, they are adorable! They're so cute and lovely, and I love them so much! This series made me realize that the reason I haven't enjoyed a bunch of the BL I've read isn't because it's BL, it's because I've just not found the right story. And I think it's quite similar with like isekai. When people talk about, oh, I don't like isekai, like most of the time it's they've only read of the more generic isekai, and there's so much out there, there's so many different types, genres, themes, that there is pretty much going to always be something in a genre that you do enjoy. It might not be the most obvious thing. The covers of these are so beautiful. I love the grey and a little bit of colour, which is crazy because I'm constantly going on about how much I love rainbow, but I love the grey on this so much. I can't believe I have to wait so long for another volume, because I got volume 3 and I was like, okay, I'll read them together because I did an isekai month and I tried to read loads of isekai, and this one I read all 3 volumes in like an evening. We finished work, it was a Friday, we got our fish and chips, I then started reading a volume in the evening after that, and then was like, oh, do you want to do anything, like play a game? Like, absolutely do not talk to me, I am reading. I think I realised that when it comes to like dramatic romance, this is exactly the kind of thing I want. It has all the tropes that I like. I think they're done amazing. I mean, obviously there's the wallbang. I don't want to say some of the later tropes that I very much enjoyed as well, because that's potentially spoilery. Ask me in the Discord if you're interested, but honestly, absolutely love it. Volume 4 comes out March time, I think, and the light novel is also coming out, I think, in February. I'm going to be getting that, absolutely, 100%. I'm not sure how many people I have now gotten on to this series. I know I encouraged Himiko to pick it up. I'm not sure if she's finished reading it. I know I aggressively made Geeky Dreams pick it up where we went manga shopping, and I pretty much found the volume 1 and then ran at her saying, read this! But so if you've picked this up because of me, do let me know in the comments, because I'm kind of curious. I absolutely love it. Please do try it. Isekai, BL, romance, amazing, beautiful. Honestly, it's not even just one of my top reads of 2023, it's probably just one of my top reads ever at this point. I can't describe how much I love this series, except the fact that I've renamed myself Beantins in a few places. Right, okay. Let's go back to the shelves. That's probably the most I've talked about any one series in this collection tour, and to be fair, probably the most I will talk about in this collection tour. Dear goodness me, I should just do that in its own video. I should just do a bean video and rave about beans. Oh, beans. Anyway, let's move on. Otome Mania 1 and 2, complete at 2. Both of these bought secondhand. It's okay. It's a reverse Harry meme about a girl who works at a place that starts working at a place that creates these like dating sim mobile games. And all the guys here have a different role, from writer to programmer to voice actor, and she kind of has like cute, adorable romantic moments with all of them in different chapters. It's not like an intense series, it's okay, but it was kind of just what I fancied reading when I read it, so I did enjoy it. Then we have Our Dining Table, which is a one-shot. I believe it's a BL, and I have not yet read it. We have Our Dreams at Dusk 1 to 3. That is behind. I don't have volume 4. I see very mixed things. I thought this was like well received in the community, and then I've seen a lot of like counter comments saying that it's not a very good representation of the LGBTQ plus community, so I don't know. I'm still curious to read it, but I wonder why. I mean, I haven't read it. I don't know much about it apart from that, so let's see. Outlast Crusade New World 1. I have not yet read this. It's still plastic wrap. I think I picked it up in like, I've forgotten the place in Camden Market in London, whatever that place is called. Oh Not So Lonely Travel Guide 1 and 2 behind, because 3 is definitely out. Have not yet read this though. It's meant to be very cute though. Our Teachers Are Dating 2, 3 and 4. I think it's complete of 4 volumes, but obviously I don't have volume 1. Again, all bought cheap, sale, at least half price. And I think it's a GL. I'm gonna say I think it's meant to be. I think it's meant to be smutty. I mean, the plastic wrapped. I was gonna say I don't know why they're plastic wrapped. And then volume 3, they're like sat nude in the bath. So I don't know. Then we have Orient High School Host Club 1 to 18, and that is complete. I really love Orient High School Host Club. Like, I think I've loved it more the older I've gotten as well. So it was actually a series I watched some of the anime of at university. I watched it with a friend that I lived with at the time, back when I did actually sometimes watch anime, and that kind of encouraged me to start picking up the series, because I did finish watching the anime and I thought the ending was really weird. I was like, I don't understand, this doesn't feel like an ending. And then discovered there was 18 volumes of manga, and I was like, okay, well that's definitely not the ending in the manga, is it? And thank goodness I did, because I think the anime ends like here somewhere. I'm not too sure, but there's like a whole load more stuff to it that you just don't see. Most of these I actually picked up secondhand. 4 is probably my most damaged copy. You can see with how faded it is on the spine, sun damaged, but it's still like completely readable. It's still a fine condition. But a lot of the others are secondhand as well, apart from like one of them, which I think was 18 I bought in Forbidden Planet maybe. This is years ago. I want to say like 2018 maybe. Long time. Many years ago. Then we have Overgeared Volume 1. This was given to me by Yen Press. Loved it. This is the kind of like video game isekai I enjoyed. There were so many stats. If it wasn't all wedged in, I'd pull it out. There were so many stats. It was about a guy who then was like, he gets a really special class, uber special mega class ability, and he's like a super overpowered blacksmith basically, and he can craft all this really fancy gear, overpowered gear, and he just like starts to make all this gear, and you can see all the stats of what he's making, and it's mostly set up in volume 1, but I am very much enjoying where it's going, and we kind of got like the first bit in volume 1 is like a sneak peek of the future of where he's ended up. I can't wait to see the progress on that. This I loved it. It was just such a perfect isekai for me. Then we have Outbride 1 to 4, Steamship title, up to date, super duper questionable. Oh my goodness, why is this girl just crying all the time? And she seems so young. And I know people have said, well, they do actually say that her age is such and such. I went back, unless I'm blind, I don't see them saying like an exact age. They just say what year of school she's in, which means she could be one of a few ages. And it's just, yeah. Basically, all of humanity has died thousands of years in the future, and human world and this like god world have merged together. And as the last of the humans, all of these like gods want to try and breed with her to create a hero child that will be able to defeat the demons. So they're all trying to breed with her, and she's very unhappy and confused. But she is starting to get happier. It is smutty. There is explicit scenes, but it just feel a bit weird. It does feel a bit weird. Why are so many steamships questionable? I say that, and there's like the one questionable one, like that's not questionable, sorry. It's like ladies on top, and I'm like, that's a bit dull for me, isn't it? So maybe I'm just very fickle. Then we have Overlord 1 to 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, and Overlord the Dead King 07, which, this one irked me. I bought this from Blackwell's because it showed the volume 7 cover, but actually it turns out it's the spin-off, not the main series, so I still have a gap. I have only read up to like the first 4 volumes because then I was missing volumes. But it's one of Ben's favourite isekai, and he's up to date with the light novels. He loves the light novels, and he's interested to see what the story's like in the manga as well. Because he's also watched the anime, and he said that this stuff that they cut out in the anime from the light novels, so he's interested to see if it's similar in the manga as well. There's like a full arc that isn't in the anime. It is about a video game isekai, a guy who plays a video game. The game is getting shut down. He decides to stay on till the last moment, and instead of being kicked out, everything seems to just start becoming a bit more real. And it seems that he is now in the game, and all the NPCs of the guild are now kind of real, and he's trying to figure out what's happening and if anyone else from his guild is still in this world. That's basically the premise. Not as many stats so far, but it is like a very classic isekai. And then there's 2 of the characters, 2 of the waifus, Albedo and Sheltier. I think Ben has an Android of that one. Okay, in here we have Paradise Kiss, the chunky one-shot. I am actually halfway through this, and I had started like vlogging me reading as I went, and then I completely forgot about it, and that was like 2021, so I still have that footage somewhere, and then I got halfway through, but I feel like that's going to be weird now. I don't know what to do with that footage, or if I just try and finish it or start. I don't know what to do with it, but I did attempt. I think I was enjoying it. I liked all the characters apart from the main 2. I didn't like the main pairing because it just felt horrendously toxic. But I really liked all the other characters a lot, so yay. And we have Pandora Sylvan 1 and 2. I think that's up to date, but I haven't yet read it. I got 2 in Sci-Fi Daily Deals for a good price. Then we have Pandora Hearts 1 to 5 and 8. I think all have been bought secondhand, actually. A very hard series to find. There's quite a few people in the Discord that tried to pick it up. Apparently it did have a reprint. I don't think that reprint made its way over to the UK, because I've not seen any in stores. I've not seen any listed really online unless it's like above retail prices, so I'm not sure if there's been a reprint of the UK. There's also that really fancy Pandora Hearts box set with all the different versions, but they don't ship outside of the US, maybe North America. They won't ship internationally, so unfortunately we can't get that. So we're stuck trying to scavenge secondhand volumes that we can find. It's quite a long series, so I have a way to go. Now we have Parallel Paradise 1 to 15. That is up to date. This is one of my most questionable isekai in terms of like thinking about what you hate about, people typically hate about isekai. This embodies all of that. All of that. It's a plastic wrap series. It's Ghost Ship. It's about a very bland, plain guy who's been isekai'd, and for some reason he's the only man in this world, and touching the women make them want to cuddle a lot. Yeah. It is very, very gross. However, I do think it's one of the few isekais that I think is really trying to build on the whole what has happened, why has he been isekai'd, there's a whole bunch of mystery story, what's happening. It's just very intermixed with creepiness. Yeah. There's a rainbow. Parallel World Pharmacy Volume 1. I'm fairly sure behind on this. I haven't read it. I believe isekai, but I'm not sure yet. Parasite 1 to 8, I think that's complete. All of these, pretty much apart from I think 5, were bought second hand. Very happy because I paid like £5 each, maybe £6 each. Although look at that, £10.99, and if only. And then we have Passionate Two-Face 1 and 2. These were given to me also by my sister's friend. I think it might actually be a manhwa, but I don't know anything about it. I've not read it. We have Peach Boy Riverside 1 to 9. I haven't started reading it. All of these have been on sale pretty much on Blackwell's, actually. They end up popping up for like $4.99, $5.99. I don't know why, but they do. I think I am now behind on picking up volumes anyway, not that I've started reading it. Then we have Penguin Gentleman, which is a one-shot. It's hardcover, which is quite neat, and it's about a bar that is run by penguins, but they all have human forms like this, so I think that penguin is him. And you know what? It's really interesting, and you learn a lot about penguins. There's like a whole bunch of different stuff about penguins and different types of penguins and just penguin facts presented through a story of penguins running like a cocktail bar. It's just like the oddest thing, but it's really neat. If you like penguins, absolutely 100% would recommend. It is a little bit more pricey, hardcover, but I see it secondhand sometimes, so I try and find it secondhand. Then we have Penguin in House 1 to 3. That is unfortunately up to date. I don't think there's any more volumes in Japan, but I don't think it's complete. I think it's just on hiatus or on pause or something. I really love it. I love the humour. I think it's silly. It's like a guy lives with a penguin, and the penguin like kind of helps look after him, and he's a bit ditzy. It's just silly slice of life comedy, really. I actually got Ben to read volume 1 and he hated it. Never seen Ben get so mad at a manga before. I don't know why he hated it so much, but he really hated it. So, I don't know. Very drastic opinions, I'm not sure why. Then we have Perfect World 1 to 12, that is complete. I think I liked Perfect World. I don't think, having gotten to the end, I enjoyed it as much as I thought I did, if that makes sense. I think Perfect World, it had its ups and downs, and I think for me, it had too many ups and downs. I understand it's all about painting damn fairy lights. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, right, sorry. Perfect World, I think it was okay. I think there was, for me personally, there was just too many ups and downs throughout the whole series that I started to feel just a bit sad when reading it, and I think that put me off a bit. It is a beautiful series, but I think in terms of like romance favourites, it's probably not up there for me. And I understand real romance isn't like always up and down. It's just not the kind of romance I tend to enjoy reading. I like some conflict, but I like my conflict, as I said with Beans, to be like more dramatic, not like realistic drama. That's too real. If that makes any sense. Also, did you notice there's a little wheelchair on the spines? Because I didn't notice for a long time. I want to say like up here. And we have Persephone Hades Torment. This is a one-shot. It's plastic wrapped. It's not really manga. It's more just a graphic novel, but I found it in the manga section. It's printed by 7 Seas. It's a Hades Persephone story. It took me like 5 minutes to read because there's not that much text. There is a little bit of a smut scene towards the end, but it's not that intense really. It's okay. I probably wouldn't recommend it, especially because it's pricey. Unless you find it secondhand, maybe. Then we have Persona 3, 2 and 7, Persona 4, 1 to 4, 6, 10 and 11, and Persona 5, 1 to 10. Oh, there is another one down here. Persona 5, Memento's Mission 1. So these I am behind on. Regen Entertainment, more pricey, waiting for them to be on sale sections. So I don't remember how many each of these have, but I am obviously behind. And Persona 5, printed by Viz. 11 is out. It did come out over December. Persona 5 is the only Persona game I have played, though. I haven't played 3 or 4. I think, is it 3 the one that's getting the remake? I'm so tempted to play that because I absolutely loved the whole running around Persona 5 Rooney. Though I did really struggle. I don't like games where you can miss out on things. I don't like missing out. So, like, having to try and... The only way to really run a perfect run is to follow a guide, and that irked me, especially when I didn't realise till I got to like the 5th palace. So yeah, not being able to complete everything in a game does irk me a lot, but that's a me issue. I understand that's a me issue. I did still enjoy it as a game though. I think reading the manga is a bit weird. I think reading the manga of a video game that you've played and you know fairly well is always a bit weird. Same with like the Zelda manga. Persona 5 manga hasn't, I feel, reinvented the story quite enough for my liking. I'd rather there was a bit more artistic liberty, I guess, with how it was done to make it differentiate from the game a bit more. However, it does seem to be following the story for Persona 5 Royal, which I haven't played, so there are new bits and new characters in the story that I'm not familiar with, but that's not because the story's changed a huge amount. It's because of the, like, I was gonna say, is it DLC? I don't know how to classify it. Remake, but there's like all the extra stuff. I don't know. There's all that extra story from that game that I'm not aware of, so there is at least that, I suppose. And Mementos Mission, I think, is 3 volumes. I'm not too sure what it's about. I haven't read it. Then we have, move all my battery packs. Then we have Pet Shop of Horrors 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and Pet Shop of Horrors Tokyo 1 and 2. I got very confused buying these. I didn't realise there was a sequel until I got these, and I was like, these don't match these. Ah! I figured out my mistake. All of these I got in Brighton, pretty cheap. Yep, £3 each. I do need to still track down 1, 2, and 4 though to complete that. Lots of people talk about how good it is, it's just really hard to find. So when I saw like so many for so cheap, I was like, well, let's just give it a go and see what we think. I just need to find the earlier ones. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 1 to 5. That is complete. I love this. This is probably my favourite video game manga because the stories are all unique. Well, I think they are. I haven't played every Ace Attorney game, so I might be wrong. It's kind of just sort of like you're playing a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game in that something happens, probably a murder. They turn up, do some investigation, then you go to court. You don't go back and forth like you do in the game. It's just investigation, court, find out the truth. But I really, really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Definitely recommend. I do think it is trickier to find though, so I say I recommend. You might be a bit stuck. I got these quite a few years ago, and that's how I managed to get them, because I didn't pay much, but it was pre-COVID and all that. Then we have Phantom of the Idol 1 to 5. That is no longer up to date. I might have got another one at Christmas time, I'm not sure. This is about a guy who's been scouted to be an idol, and he's got like the looks for it, but he doesn't have the personality. He's very like, I can't be bothered. And for some reason, this idol, who unfortunately passed away while performing and is now a ghost, has decided to try and help him, and she kind of possesses him to perform on stage. And when she possesses him, he's like got this really chirpy personality, and everyone's like, okay. It's quite cute. It was a fun read. It was okay. It wasn't outstanding, but I did enjoy it. Phantom Tales of the Night 1, 2, and 4, bought secondhand for about £5 each. I haven't started reading it. However, I do adore the covers. I've always wanted to pick this up because of the covers. I think they're very, very pretty. And there's like a different colour theme on each one, and oof, I am quite smitten by them. I hope it's not horror. Now we have Planetides 1. That is not complete. There is a second one I want to say. This is one of Ben's. I literally can't remember a single thing about what he said about it to me. I know there's very differing opinions on Instagram about it. Quite dramatic opinions, different opinions. But I can't remember, and Ben's not here for me to ask. Now we have Platinum End 1 to 14. This was... I quite enjoyed it to like here. Just to like here. It is very pretty. I think the way the angels are drawn, very pretty. I love the hollow on the covers. And then it got weird. There's some really weird moments. Also, slight spoiler, but actually I must say, what a gorgeous final cover for a series. That is absolutely beautiful. I think the ending, slight spoilers, skip along if you don't want to hear my thoughts on the endings. I think the ending is awful, and I think it's probably one of the worst endings I've ever read in manga, ever. Not to be dramatic, but yeah. I think the whole series just got too big for its breaches and couldn't find a way to find a satisfying ending, and so just did what it did. Yeah, there's also all the very homophobic stuff from one of the characters. I think this character. Yeah, it just got more and more uncomfortable to read and weird. It started out with an interesting premise. I was really into it, and yeah, would not recommend that one. Then we have Play It Cool Guys Volume 2. Got it in the Travelling Man Warehouse sale for £3. Had really wanted to try the series, but look how thin that is. I could not pay RRP, which is like £11-12 for this. It is, I think, full colour. Yeah, it is full colour, but still, it's like Ice Guy and Villainy Boy, and I just can't. So I'm just going to try and find the others for a cheap price as well. This was also in the Travelling Man Warehouse sale, which is... Please put them on Taka something San Volume 3. Yep, it's just Volume 3. It was on sale and it was plastic wrapped, and I was like, well, I'm a degenerate. Let's pick it up. I will try and find the rest at some point, but I don't want to pay anywhere near 3 for 2 for it. Okay, down here we have Plum Crazy 1, 3, and 4. I did not realise when I picked these up that I believe it is actually cancelled at 4 volumes in English. There is more volumes in Japan, like 20 something volumes, but unfortunately in English it was cancelled, I think, at 4. 2 is quite tricky to find, so I'm going to try and find that. It is a cat series. From all accounts I could see, it seems to be wholesome, but I don't know why it got cancelled. That's a shame. Cat series. Then we have Plunder 1 to 5 and 8. All of these I've bought for crazy cheap prices. Some of these, one of these I got in the Travelman Warehouse sale for £3, maybe even 2 of them. Just absolutely crazy. Some of them, most of them I got second hand, or all of them have been £10 or less. I think it's actually complete recently. I think they're all Omnis. I haven't started reading it yet, but people who do talk about it, which isn't many, do seem to like it. Then we have Pluto 1 to 8, and that is complete. Ben loves this series, and there is an anime or series or show of some kind that came out on Netflix recently, and Ben desperately wants to watch it. I am intrigued. I think this is actually one I do want to read as well. I just need to get round to it. The eyes on the spines are a bit creepy though, aren't they? Then we have Pokemon. So we got 1 to 16, 17 to 29, and at that point they went back to 1 again. So pretty much Pokemon Adventures is an ongoing series, and what they did was they did just do continuous numbers, and then for some reason with the Diamond and Pearl Platinum, they went back to 1 again, and from then on, for each arc, they went back to 1. So we kind of go through some of the more older games for the first 29 volumes. For example, these two, I'm fairly sure, are Heart and Gold, and then 1 to 11 is Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, 1 and 2 is Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then we go to Black and White. Why is 1 so thin? I was so worried I'd bought the magazine version, but no, that is how it's meant to be, apparently. And then the cats come to sit in front of me again. Can you see her tail? Swish, 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 swish. Yeah, oh my god, you know. So yeah, we got Black and White 1 to 9, Black and White 2, Black 2 and White 2, sorry, 1 to 4, also complete. And then, Yuna. She's now eating her food. I hope you don't hear it. Pokemon XY 1 to 5, and that is what's currently printing. I'm not sure if I'm up to date, that's complete, or there's another one out, but XY is the most recent one. Then we also have Pokemon Journeys 1 to 4, which is complete. Pokemon Diamond Pearl Adventures 1 to 8 complete, which is different to Diamond Pearl Platinum Adventure. And then we have a whole plethora of one-shots based on various movies. So Arceus and the Jewel of Life, Genesect and the Legend of Awakening, Giratina, Hoopla, Clash of Ages, I'm struggling to read some of these, I Choose You, which is a chunky boy, Kyurem and the Sword of Justice, Mewtwo Strikes Back, Pokemon Ranger, The Power of Us, Pokemon the movie White, I assume there's a black one as well, Volcanion, Zoroark and Secrets of the Dungeon. I know I've done some appalling pronunciations, don't judge me. So though I have been a big Pokemon fan, I've never been massive on the games, weirdly enough. The anime and a whole bunch of like the board games and stuff I've always really enjoyed, and collecting all the manga's been super fun. And the fact that I'm now like pretty much up to date, there's a whole bunch of movie ones I'm probably missing, to be fair, but otherwise in terms of like other Pokemon stuff, I'm fairly up to date. I'm so happy. My sister is like a massive Pokemon fan. She has played like almost all of the games, I swear, at this point. Whereas I'm just not very good once. As soon as you go past Sinnoh, I get a bit stuck. Even the one that's basically set in the UK. Okay, then we have Polar Bear Cafe 1, and I have not yet read it. It's a bit pricier. I'm not sure if it's colour. I'd open it up, but Eunice climbed onto my lap. I got that second hand though. It wasn't too bad a price. Then we have A Polar Bear in Love 1 and 3. 3, I think I got second hand. I've read the first one. I didn't like it. It's meant to be really cute. And to be fair, for the most part it was. But then there was some really sad moments that like caught me so unawares. I was just not expecting it. And it got me quite sad and down. So yeah, that made me sad. I don't know if I could recommend it. I'd say recommend with maybe like caution that there are sad moments about, say, the characters' parents when they were growing up. It's quite a long, it's like got 5 or 6 volumes, and they're very nice colours, very vivid rainbow colours. I love this red on the 3. Then we have Pompo the Cinephile 1 and 2. I think volume 1 was okay.
I think it's actually completed 3 volumes, and 3 has now since come out. I haven't read my volume 2. Volume 1 was fine. I think if you're like big into your classic movies, you'd probably enjoy it a lot because they do talk a lot about classic movies. It's about a kid whose, I think, granddad is a famous director, and actually now they're quite a good director as well. It was interesting, but I'm not like, I like watching movies and different movies, but I'm not quite into that like analysis of movies in the way that this manga kind of was. So I just think it wasn't quite my kind of thing, but it wasn't bad. Pretty Boy Detective Club 1. I bought this secondhand. I haven't read it yet, but I really want to because I heard it might be the sort of thing I do enjoy. Primitive Boyfriend 1-3, that is complete. I haven't read it. Prince Freya 1-9 up to date. Now, this year, I binge read all the Prince Freya that I had. I think I'd read the first 2 volumes and then I binge read the rest together, and I must say, I wasn't a big fan at the beginning, but having binge read a bunch together, I did enjoy it. I'm still not a big fan of Freya, the character, but I really enjoyed the like political element and the whole fights and stuff. I've enjoyed that a whole bunch more, and I think reading a lot together very much was the reason for that. 9 came out partway through the year, and I read that on its own, having had like I think 6 months between me binging like 6 volumes, and it was so much harder to read on its own. So I'm not going to read single volumes of the series anymore. I'm going to wait until I have a bunch and read them together because they're quite quick reads. I think I read the 6 volumes I had in like an evening. That's how quick it was for me to get through them, and they're quite thin as well. So potentially I would say this is a good binge series. I would recommend that for binging. Still wasn't able to tempt Himika though. The Prince in His Dark Days 1-4, that's complete. I managed to find all of these secondhand about a month ago over a few different sites, and I heard Himika talk really highly about the series, about how much she really liked it and was looking for a volume, and when she found it she was super excited. So as soon as I managed to see a whole bunch together, I was like, well, actually, why not? I want to see why it's so good. I haven't read it yet at all, so I don't know anything about it except Himika's excited by it. That was all I needed to buy it. We have Princess Jellyfish 1-9, that is complete. I got the box set a few years ago for Christmas from my granddad. I haven't yet read it though. I'm a bit daunted. I really, really do, because I've enjoyed other series by the same mangaka. I just need to... Omnis scare me because they're heavy. And then we have the Princess of Convenient Plot Devices 1-3, that is up to date. Look at those colours, aren't they really pretty? I've enjoyed this. It's an isekai. It's an isekai where the character has been isekai'd into a BL light novel, I think she's read, or a BL game or something. It's a BL world, basically, where male-male relationships are the most common, and she is like... she's kind of the villainess-ish of the series, in that the main couple is her brother and brother's partner, and she's kind of seen, I think in the main series, like objecting to the relationship because he's like a commoner or something, the partner, and she's trying to be really supportive in this world, and I really liked it. And in volume 3 we actually started to see a bit about why she's been isekai'd, which is really neat. I like it when we get that because we don't that often, and like kind of what the reason is she is for being there. Would recommend. It's quite short. There is also a light novel. Do enjoy.
Thank you so much for watching part 11 of the manga collection tour. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in part 12.